Hello and welcome back to Would You Rather. I'm davidinark. How you doing? And we're just gonna jump into making some life-altering decisions or answering random weird questions people come up with, like this one. Would you rather live under communism or live under capitalism? Gonna go with capitalism because that's what I live under. I'm pretty happy with it. No, it's not fair to everyone, but then again, communism, sure in the crap ain't fair to anybody, so I'll take capitalism. There we go. Okay, would you rather have the first name, Cletus, there's supposed to be quotation marks, but obviously it got lost in translation, or have the first name Rusty? I'll be honest, whatever. It doesn't matter. Whatever my parents call me, Um, I, I suppose. I'm just going to go with Rusty. And there's not really. I mean, like I said, if my parents named me whatever they named me, I mean, if they could have named me, I don't know, Franken Micro Center, okay, and that would have been my name, and I would have figured out. Probably just call me Frank. I don't know. I'm going to go with Rusty. Way too much thought on that one. Yeah, okay. Anyway. For the rest of your life, would you rather have all the superpowers that you want but always be alone, or be a normal person but popular? Have we had this one? I feel like we've had this question or something similar to it. I would rather... here's the funny thing. I don't necessarily care about being popular. I don't really necessarily care about having superpowers, but I would not want to always be alone. That just, I don't know. I'm not a, I'm not one who interacts with a lot of people a lot of time, but by the same token, to be just by myself all the time, 24/7 alone, that's definitely not me. So I guess a normal person, but popular because of the normal part. I don't really care about the popular part. I would rather be normal and not alone is basically what it amounts to. So there we go. 58-42. It is what it is. Would you rather win an Oscar or win the Nobel Prize? And again, I'm pretty sure we've had some of these. All right. After this one, if I think I've had the question, I'm just going to skip it. So would you rather win an Oscar or win the Nobel Prize? As far as I'm concerned, I would rather win the Nobel Prize because winning an Oscar entails acting and or anything related to the film and TV industry. And you've seen this. This is not the face for TV. I've got a face for radio. So I'm going to go with the Nobel Prize. There you go. Which I think is like $1 million anyway. So, hey, I'd take it. Ooh, would you rather have a stomach ache or a headache? If I had to have one or the other, and of course, I've had both, a lot of people have had, sometimes at the same time. But if I had to pick between the two, I would much rather have a stomach ache. A headache is just, man, that is so painful and it just won't go away. And the stomach aches I've had some very severe stomach aches. In fact, I was actually hospitalized as a kid because of some stomach ache issues that I was having. But even with that, it's still not anywhere near as bad as the headaches that I've had. So of the two, I'd rather have a stomach ache. The majority of folks, slight majority, would rather have a headache than a stomach ache, which I can totally understand. I totally get that. I understand why you would rather have a headache because, having a stomach ache's not any fun either. And as always, I'm getting the hiccups lately when I'm recording. I don't know what the deal is. Would you rather be homeless or a slave? Okay. We had this one. These are starting to feel all the same. Let's see. All right. I would rather be homeless because the thought of working for someone, whether the slave was being mistreated or not. The point is, it's an unpaid servant. So yeah, you'd have a roof over your head, but you'd have to do every freaking thing that other person said. I would much rather be homeless and be my own person. Wow. Huge majority there. Oh, would you rather be a rich but stupid footballer? And in case you don't know, footballer generally means a person who plays soccer. In America, we would call that soccer. So be a rich but stupid soccer player, or be a genius but poor scientist. I can't fathom the thought of being stupid. And I know this is going to shock some of you, but I tend to think of myself as not being stupid. I'm not the brightest person in the world, but I can't fathom being someone who like has no clue what's going on and just being quote unquote stupid. I would much rather be so uber smart and be poor as all get out, especially if it turns out that as a scientist, I am able to help people. So I find a cure for something or a better way of doing something because of what I'm doing as a scientist. And I don't have to make money off of that, knowing that it's for the greater good. So I would much rather be a poor scientist. So there you go. Whoa, an exact 50-50 split, at least percentage-wise. The numbers are close, and they really are close. So there we go with that. Okay. Would you rather never be able to remember anyone's birthday or anniversary, or forget every historical date from the past and why it was important? Well, I'll be honest, I already have a hard time remembering people's birthdays or anniversaries, and it's, kind of a problem. I mean, if it weren't for like Facebook and other social media, I probably wouldn't even know when half of the birthdays are that I'm supposed to know. So I'm kind of already here. Forget every historical date from the past and why it was important. I'm not a history person. I know a handful of dates, that have gone on from the past. 1776. There you go. I know one, so there it is. I don't know. No, I'm being stupid from the other question. No, I'm just going to say I would rather just forget every historical date and be able to remember birthdays and anniversaries, because I already don't do that. So forgetting every historical date, I don't really care. That's whatever. Okay, so, would you rather live in a foreign city and not know the language, or live on an island alone? Today's questions are brought to you by the word alone, boys and girls. As I discussed earlier, I would not want to be alone. So I would rather live in a foreign city and not know the language, because even if I lived in a foreign city and didn't know the language, I'm pretty sure I could figure out how to get around and survive, and I don't know, possibly even find ways to communicate outside of the local language. I don't know. And maybe I'm thinking that, not realizing what that would entail, but I definitely would not want to be alone on an island. No, thank you. So there you go. Woo! Wow, look at that. 68%. That's what I'm talking about. Would you rather have a blind date with a homeless person or kiss a homeless person? So evidently, homelessness is also the topic of the day. So we have loneliness and homelessness. What is going on in Would You Rather today? So first of all, this presumes or assumes, whichever, that if you had a blind date with a homeless person, you would not end up kissing, because if you were going to end up kissing, then really they're pretty much equal. Unless this is just like, would you rather just like run up and randomly kiss a homeless person rather than having a blind date with them? I have no idea. I don't understand. I don't see what's happening here. But between the two, I probably I mean, so do, I mean, as me, right? I'm married. So date to me is just going out with a homeless person and sharing supper and conversation. And of course, it's not going to go anywhere. I'll be honest. I think between the two, I would rather have a quote unquote date with a homeless person than simply just whatever, however, this kiss a homeless person would manifest itself. I have no clue. I can't wrap my brain around that. Because I would have a conversation with that person. And I'm not saying that anything I said or did would result in helping that person in any way. Maybe it would, maybe it wouldn't. There's no way to know that kind of thing. But anytime you have the opportunity, or let me put it this way, anytime I would have the opportunity to sit down and talk just face to face with, I mean, honestly, with just about any human being, I would pick that over just about anything else. It has nothing to do with loneliness or any of that kind of stuff. You know, we've had questions about that. But in terms of just that human contact and that human conversation, it's really funny. I was watching Neeb's Gaming commenting on comments, and that this is kind of along the same lines of the things that they were talking about in that particular video. And in that video, they were talking about how there was, I think it might have been Duralius, who there was a woman at a gas station, and he just said, hey, really cool car, or whatever he said to her, and her face lit up, and they had a miniature conversation. It wasn't long; it was just a little conversation, and they were talking about that, how sometimes just a smile makes a difference, just saying hi to somebody makes a difference, and to be able to sit down and just have dinner with someone, or lunch, or whatever this quote unquote date is, where you just sit down and you share a meal and you share conversation and you share your story with each other. To me, that is really what life is all about. Everything else, all this other stuff is just the fluff that frankly sometimes gets in the way. When it's all said and done, we should just be nice to each other. Just talk to each other. So I would definitely go on a blind date with a homeless person, because I wouldn't care who that person was. It doesn't matter what they look like. It doesn't matter I don't care. It doesn't matter. It's the fact that you'd be sitting down having this conversation with another person. I would, and I'm so glad to see that 75% of the folks agree with that. That is awesome. You guys rock, man. That really is. That is very, very cool. Now, I realize a bunch of you could have picked that because the thought of kissing a homeless person makes you sick to death, but I'm going to pretend that the reason why 75% of you picked that is because you also are out there thinking the same thing that I am, that having a sit-down conversation with another human being far outweighs some goofy random kiss or not doing anything. That's what I'm going with. All right, would you rather be in the Fallout universe or be in the Skyrim universe? This is easy for me. Skyrim. Any day, all day, heck yeah. I love Skyrim. I haven't played Skyrim in forever. I actually have a couple of episodes of me trying to start up Skyrim. It didn't do what I wanted it to do, so I couldn't get the series rolling the way I wanted to, but I absolutely am a huge, I'm an Elder Scrolls fan, just of the entire series of games, but Skyrim, awesome. I mean, Fallout's cool and all, but no, I would definitely rather be in the Skyrim universe. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, man. Looks like most other folks would, so good to know we're all in good company. All 628,720 of us. Let's hop over it and get into a Skyrim game and hang out. How about that? That works. All right. If you had to have one in your bedroom, would you rather Have a complete stranger that cuddles with you, or have nonstop screaming 7-year-olds. Wow. Okay. So the subtext down below is you can't kick either one out of your house, and the stranger would not be attractive to you. So you wouldn't, there's not a hookup thing going on here. It's just there's a complete stranger who, in fact, maybe is even you're even repulsed by the stranger. I don't know. I can't see that far down. But anyway, so the stranger would not be attractive to you nor attracted to you, and otherwise you have screaming 7-year-olds. Holy cow. Neither one of these is good for me. I have a couple of kids. I love my kids. And yes, I am in the education field. I'm on the technology side of the education field for a reason. I don't have the patience and the wherewithal. I just don't. You have to know your limitations, man. You got to know your limitations. And a room full of screaming kids is beyond my limitations. However, having somebody that I have no idea who this is and they keep wanting to cuddle with me would give me in fact, the thought of that right now just maybe give me the willies. Man, this is, oh my gosh. Okay. So I don't know. What do you think, man? Would you rather have somebody that you have no idea who they are just cuddling with you all the time, who just wants to snuggle, or have nonstop screaming 7? I'm going to have to take the cuddler, because that's one person. I can deal with one person. It doesn't even say how many 7-year-olds there are. I mean, of course, one screaming nonstop is rough, but that's plural, man. I'm going to go with a stranger. Oh, I'm going to regret this, aren't I? Well, 73% of the people also would rather have a stranger than a bunch of screaming 7-year-olds. I get it. I totally get it. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to do this as the last one. Would you rather wear a ski suit all the time or go everywhere barefoot? Okay. Why? Why am I doing either one of these? Wear a ski suit all the time. Now, this says assume you're in a mid-range climate, but snow isn't unheard of. And I don't think that's really the issue. I mean, you'd be walking around in a ski suit all the time, or go everywhere barefoot. Here's the thing about going everywhere barefoot. Well, for starters, there are some places you couldn't even go to because, no shoes, no shirt, no service. But I hate walking around barefoot as it is. However, if that was the only way I could get around, I'm assuming that I would end up getting used to it. And I'm sure over time, the bottoms of my feet would develop calluses so thick and nasty that they would essentially become kind of the soles of like shoe soles on my feet. Wearing a ski suit all the time, I can't imagine, especially for the stuff that I do. I mean, it's hard enough when I have to wear, a long sleeve shirt to do some of the stuff that I have to do. I can't imagine having a big old bulky ski suit. So I'm just going to go, oh, no, that is a good point, though. The Winter Olympics were just on, and when they're skiing down, some of those folks, they wore some pretty tight clothing. So could that be a ski suit? Ooh. So the definition of ski suit is up for debate and discussion, in which case I'll go with the ski suit, assuming it's like the downhill skiers that wear the tight, I don't know what that is, lycra, spandex, whatever their stuff is made of. I mean, I'm not saying I'm going to look pretty in it, but I'm saying that would be easier to move around in. I'm going to do that. I'm going to go with a ski suit that is based on the Winter Olympics that I saw with like the downhill skiers. That's what I'm going with. And it's very possible that I am having a false memory of what their outfits look like. So that is very possible, but I don't think so. I think I'm good. I think I'm okay. Anyway, more people would rather go around barefoot. So there is that. I'm going to check real quick. I think I may have had a couple of would you rathers from you guys. So let me check on that real quick, and I'll be back in just a moment. Okay, I did find where Roasted Bunny and I were having a conversation, and so he had asked me, would I rather have unlimited games for my computer or unlimited PCs? So I could either have all the games I wanted, or I could have access to all of the computers I wanted. And this is probably going to sound absolutely insane, but I would rather, let me just do this real quick. I would actually rather have unlimited games. That means that I would not, I'm assuming, I would not have to pay for any game I ever wanted versus an unlimited number of PCs because I don't need that many PCs. And yes, I guess I could theoretically get a PC and turn around and sell it and then take that money and get whatever games I wanted, but that's too cumbersome. If I have a good PC that'll play the games, then I would much rather have unlimited games than an unlimited number of PCs hanging around that I had access to. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts on that one. That was an awesome question from Roasted Bunny, and I knew if I looked long enough I'd remember where that was, but I couldn't remember where it was in the conversation. So thank you very much, Roasted Bunny, for asking that question. If you've got a would you rather that you would like me to answer for you, leave that down in the comment section below, along with any other questions, problems, suggestions, horror stories down in the comments. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you next time on Would You Rather.